When a severe storm hits, hail and high-speed winds can cause excessive damage to your home. This can lead to blown-off shingles, broken windows, siding damage, and leaking inside. If you suspect your home has been hit with storm damage, contact CNN Construction today. We are a proud GAF Master Elite contractor, offering free exterior home inspection for storm-related damages. CNN is a reputable licensed roofing and general contractor working hand-in-hand with insurance companies and homeowners every step of the way through the difficult claims and restoration process. We will meet with your insurance adjuster to discuss the damages to your property, the value of those repairs, and the scope of work needed at your home. Our skilled team has you covered and will leave your home looking brand new. Give us a call today at 844-415-ROOF or visit our website at cnroofs.com for a free exterior inspection. CNN Construction. We find the solutions, not the excuses.
Hang on a second, guys. One second.
What up?
We've got to give a shout out to South Nashville Heating and Cooling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Friend and supporter, show and proof. Also, the longest running sponsor of I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast.
Absolutely. Look, man, South Nashville Heating and Cooling, where quality and craftsmanship come together. They've been doing this since 1985. That's almost 40 years of service. Expert designs, quality installations, superior service.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you something.
What's that?
Tell me.
I feel confident in the fact that South Nashville Heating and Cooling will keep me warm in the winter.
For sure.
It'll keep me cool in the summer.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, these middle months, you'll be comfortable even then.
Absolutely, dude.
Y'all know the deal, man. South Nashville Heating and Cooling, we love those guys. Y'all see the name, y'all see the number, tap in.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Always. Stop! It's I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast, man. We're back like we don't stop, because trust us, we never do. All we do is work, and y'all know me.
Fuck you, Squints.
That's right, R.I.P.
Whizzle fizzle.
Forever and always. Trying to change it up. That one didn't work.
That was pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Don't knock yourself out too much.
Thanks, man. Y'all hear the cadence. Y'all know who that is.
ChadArmesTV.com.
Slam. I don't know what that was.
Okay. Yeah, we're just all over the place.
Shout out Onyx.
Might as well.
Here's our other friend.
Mildred.
Yeah, his was.
You got to get the hand gesture in there, dude. He was like, come hither, Mildred.
I love how all three of ours were the same, but yet so different than what we normally do.
Man,
Switch it up,
yeah,
man.
so far, but so close.
Switching it up.
I'm glad you clarified what this was, too.
Right.
That was a little weird, wasn't it?
So in case you didn't know that cadence, we're joined today by a new friend of ours, man.
Yeah, man.
Mesus in the building.
Yeah, yeah. Give
Pleasure
that
to have
round
you,
of
bro.
applause, man.
Blessing to be here, man. Honored to be here, y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. I don't have any hand gestures.
Yeah, they don't have the chatty little whatever.
Yeah, because I did that, and then one was like,
Do the yayo, Tony
Yeah,
Yayo.
you'll have one by the time you
he
leave.
said the Tony Yayo. Hell yeah.
For the Drake.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Mesus. We're
Yeah, dude.
So
Shut my phone off.
fun fact. I had the pleasure of meeting Mesus at Tailgates and Tall Boys around episode 100.
Yep, we both
And
did.
at that moment, I was in the dark, had no clue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think you went on. You did a couple songs at Tailgates before Adam's set, right? Adam Calhoun.
Or that was before 3-6.
Oh, before 3-6. There it is.
Yeah.
But I remember you being on set, and I specifically asked Chad. I was like, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah.
Right. And Chad's like, "It's Mesus, bro. You don't." I'm like, "Bro, I have no idea. I'm not tapped in." He's like, "I'll do. When he comes off stage, I'll introduce you."
Yeah.
Shout out Chatty. Did exactly that. And I went down the rabbit hole of Mesus, I think, on our way home.
Okay.
And fast forward to when Broadnax was recently on with us.
Yep.
Broadnax pulled up with Mesus. And in reality, me and Mesus are pretty fucking, we're in the same vicinity as far as where we live.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot more work with Show and Prove and Mesus, man. We're big fans of Mesus. We like we like the way you move and operate, dog. And
I gotta admit, man, like I'm fairly new. You know, but what I have been hearing though, I'm loving. You know what I mean? You can hear the creativity and quality. You know?
Appreciate it.
oh, you hear the fucking passion. That boy rap when Mesus, if you're unfamiliar and you tap in, what you will immediately recognize is he's practicing what he's preaching. Like that guy, he believes in every word he's saying. Like it's
bro.
Every syllable.
exactly, and it's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that I had a real brief introduction to you at Tailgates and Tallboys. I think we dapped it up. Chad introduced us real quick, and I think we mentioned to you, you left like immediately.
Yeah, I think we caught you right before y'all had to bounce or something.
And I think we may have told you then, hey man, hopefully soon we'll have an opportunity to get you in the chair. I didn't know it would take this long, but I'm glad it did because
God's timing,
right, man. This is like been so organic, and even before we hit record today, like the guys are talking with Mesus about future endeavors or maybe some collaborations or something. I don't know.
For sure, bro.
Stay tuned.
Well, and it was and shout out Cliffy D because we were supposed to get Mesus on a while back, and it was a scheduling thing. Somebody, I think whether some of the kids was sick or something.
That was me, yes.
And it just timing was so. Salute to Cliffy D for that.
Absolutely.
But glad we was able to make it happen, man. And
out of sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Out of 210 or so episodes, we've canceled 2. And you were one of them. Yeah. And both of them were day of. Like, it was always just like last minute because we're real good about our commitments.
The only
and
other one was Shout Big Tone. It was when you tore your knee, and we were supposed to have him on, and you had to go to the ER. Yeah,
bruh.
Yeah, that ain't no joke.
God,
That shit just made me hurt,
bruh.
But
worst ever too.
So, and I wanted to give you your flowers too before we get started too, Mesus, because you were the one that people know. Mesus is the one that was able to was facilitating the studio session for me and Broadnax when Broadnax was in town.
Facts.
And that song obviously is on Live Forever. Without Mesus, that wouldn't have been possible. So. Again, salute to you, bro, for that, because that was the first session outside of you, right?
First session I've ever engineered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, other than his.
Damn, that's a fun fact.
Yeah. I mean, I record all my stuff, but yeah, it was, and I was just praying to God. I was like, don't let nothing, because like if like we were just talking about tech stuff can just have its goofy, and I was like, man, but the whole session ran smooth, perfect.
Oh, bro, it was great, man.
So, seamless. So I was grateful for that because I'm kind of new on the Pro Tools, running it myself like that. So
you wouldn't have known. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You did great as far as what we needed you to do, and again, I appreciate it. And
the record turned out fire. I mean,
it's my favorite song on the album.
I've got the final mix. Really?
I think so.
That's interesting to hear you.
Yeah.
Not that I would doubt that it is or anything.
I love
I'm
the
just
whole
saying.
album, but I think it
we haven't asked
top
yet.
3.
It sets the tone.
Yeah,
it
definitely does.
sets the tone.
But to Chad's point, Mesus, you would never have known that was your first time, recording.
Appreciate it.
But hell, dude, it's a repetitive process. You just ain't having to jump and run into the booth real quick.
It was. I got the way I got the booth set up. I got like a little small like mirrored control center in there. So I just pop.
Oh, okay, fire. Yeah.
So we were even. Go ahead. We were even able to do ourselves. Like he was like, man, if you need to redo that, you can just hit that button in there. He had it set up to where it would link together.
Fire.
Which I'd never been a part of, which was cool, bro.
So, I told you, Chad came back over here saying, bro, Mesus' spot's fire.
Yeah, man, bro, it's been a long time coming, dog. I wish, I told Chad, I wish I would have got a studio like 20 years ago or whatever, man. You know, I mean, I don't think it'd be where the one that I have is now, but it's just when you got your own spot, you're more comfortable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bro, I done probably forgot 100 song ideas, you know, because I didn't have, or I wrote it down and then I go to read it again. I'm like, how the hell did I say that, dog? This don't sound and then, so now it's just beautiful. I can get up and just at any time,
Yeah, something hit your mind. You can, what'd you call it? I love it. What'd you call it? Was it basement upstairs?
Oh yeah, the basement upstairs.
Yeah, I love that because it's
call it that,
I think that's a dope name for it.
I like that too.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Because it's got the whole. Did we bring that up too? You brought up like it was like a Rap City. It's kind of like Big Tigger Rap City vibes. Like
that was what I was hoping to do. I wanted it to have that
studio / man cave vibe.
It's definitely what it is, bro.
You want to know how young I was when I watched that show, or like how? I guess like I watched that show and I didn't know it wasn't a real basement. Like,
bro, I didn't for the longest, dude.
Grandma's basement.
Yeah.
I was like, I was almost like a little hurt, when I found out it was like a TV set. I was like,
yeah, it took a little piece of your childhood.
I thought that was for real, man. They came down the stairs so real.
Like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of fire freestyle, or in that basement, man. There was epic
Freestyles.
Freestyles.
The
yeah,
show,
yeah.
the show though. Period. Like
Oh, yeah, I
the
loved
show, the basement with Big Tigger was the shit.
That was like my favorite show.
Me too.
Mine too,
Like I
man.
didn't give a fuck about 106 in Park. I didn't care about anything on MTV, but on BET, dude, fucking the basement was it, bro.
Cameron went crazy on that motherfucker.
That's your favorite one?
Well,
no, I'm just saying.
That's one of mine.
Wayne
Dipset,
went
because that's
crazy on that motherfucker, too.
yeah. And then like
Wayne.
I think that Eminem and D12 was in there. They did some shit. There was a bunch of fire ones in there. I want to say Method Man did a really dope one in there at some point.
Here's one that a lot of people probably wouldn't think. LL Snap.
I bet he did.
Bro,
I
I saw LL snapping recently.
He's a beast, bro.
Snap. He sat down. He like on a toilet. He put a toilet in there, bro. Bro, LL is a beast, dog. I met him in traffic downtown New York City one time. Bro, he was literally just sitting there, and I saw his arm, just like how my arm's sitting on the outside of a window. And I was walking down the street.
You saw that mic.
Bro, I saw the Mike Core Raptor, and I saw ITH on a red hat on the back of Mr. Smith, And I was walking with a friend. We were out there for it was 2004. We were out there for some, I was supposed to be in a meeting, no bullshit, with Jay-Z, L.A. Reid, and Russell Simmons. That was
major flex.
That was why I was there. And the night before, I had opened up. Remember I showed you that who was it? I might not have showed you. Sugar Hill Gang. I opened up for the Sugar Hill Gang.
I think you told me about that
the night before, and I called up my at the time manager. As soon as I got off stage, where we staying in hotel, and long story short, he's like, "You're not coming," and I'm like, "The fuck I ain't." Like I quit my job, dog. I did all.
Oh yeah, bro.
So I came, and he was on some bullshit. So I didn't end up going to the meeting. So one of my homies came with me, and literally that's why we were just out walking around. I'm like, well, we're here. And I just nudged my friend like, yo, there goes LL. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, fucking. And he's like, this is back when you didn't go nowhere without your demo, right? You didn't have it. I mean, that day I had my demo with me because I was supposed to be going to that meeting. But anyway, he's like, go give him your shit. Cool in the motherfucker. I walk up,
Cool
he
James,
shakes my hand. Yeah, shakes my hand. Says, yo, let me get your phone. Takes my phone, had that the Nextel flip
Chirp thing.
Yeah, the chirp. Yep. He fucking punches in a number. He punches in his fucking manager's number. He's like, hit my manager up and shit. I was like, dude, this dude cool as shit, dog. Like,
Damn, bro, that's dope, man.
Shout out LL Cool J.
Yeah.
He's probably watching.
yeah.
Shout out LL, man.
Shout out Cool J.
He's a beast, bro. He always has been, and even like when he came back with the head sprung shit with Timbaland and shit, that album was still
Everybody
dope.
get your head
Like he came, that was 20 years after like
hit that
I Need
Google,
Love and all that,
hit that Google machine real quick,
He's
Chad.
one of the originators of it.
For sure, bro.
Hip-hop,
Recent freestyle. Somebody puts him on the spot just as of recently, and
LL.
Yeah, LL Cool J. Recent. I want to say it was L.A. Leakers, but
I love them. They be doing some really dope.
but I remember at the beginning they play a instrumental, and he asked for him to slow it down. Probably
Sway.
like there. So it's Sway in the morning. My
4
bad.
days ago.
Yeah, 4 days ago. But he literally starts off with like something. I've been a goat or something like that's one of the first bars he throws out. But he had something on deck. You know what I mean? Like
who's gonna out rap LL Cool J?
exactly. Think about how many bars or verses he's got. Last time he recorded, I mean, God knows when. Maybe there's some shit out that we were unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
But as far as like studio albums, LL Cool J's not really been active for a number of years.
I heard he wrote for some people too.
I wouldn't doubt
sure,
it.
bro.
sure.
If you were to hear that, what he did on Sway, bro, like it's like, damn.
Yeah.
When is he dropping a new album? Like that motherfucker's still swinging.
You got to think, man. Like I say, he's been around since the beginning.
Yeah, he's goated for sure. Man, he still looks like he's fucking 40.
Bro, 2013 was the last album that he dropped. But he still to this day has 4 million monthly listeners.
Jesus.
Yeah, because Mama Said Knock You Out's at 98 million. All I Have is 108. You know what I'm saying? So he's got
What's
them
that
classics.
Phenomenon? What's that shit at?
Phenomenon?
Is it on there?
Oh yeah.
It's not on the top 5 on Spotify, but
that's
doing
gotta
it.
be it.
Yeah,
it's
doing
at
it.
close to 100 million.
Mama said knock you out.
Yeah, bro. I still hear that one like all the time. But
Hey,
Shout out LL Cool J.
who was that he went in on?
Dissing him?
was it Cannabis?
Yeah, Cannabis.
Cannabis.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Cannabis went out. Cannabis was just that like that angry, that mad rapper. He was
for sure.
He was the mad rapper, but he was, you know, I mean, he was.
I never got on board with it.
I didn't like him, but he could rap his ass off.
That's how I was with Cannabis. I knew he could rap, but like I never listened to. I never like even when I was in my hardcore hip hop.
Same right there.
He just always.
There's a handful of rappers that literally like no matter the buzz, no matter like the work ethic, like however many projects they were putting out at the time or how hot they were, like there's a handful of them that I just never.
Yeah, well, Cannabis was definitely not that dude ever. He was just a dude that he made some noise because he wasn't afraid because he could rap his ass off. He wasn't afraid, but I think he was a typical rapper's rapper where like he didn't have anything really else to say.
Right?
Like, So his only move was, well, let me just swing at the top. You know what I mean? And he would swing at the top and he'd make some noise because anytime you do anything like that, it's and then you'd be like, okay.
I mean, hell, all four of us are sitting here referencing to him, and none of us are like immediate fans. So whatever he did worked.
I've never listened to anything outside of that beef that they had.
Well, and then he had a little thing with Eminem too.
Eminem,
right?
and that's
probably why I didn't, because I was so like obviously like Eminem was.
Chad was his bodyguard, just not yeah.
No, like
don't you talk about him.
Fun fact though, like I always was listening to rap from like 97 on.
Yeah.
But like when I saw 8 Mile in the theater in 2001 with all my friends at school, that's after I saw that, I didn't have any desires to battle rap or nothing. I love battle rap, but I never desired to battle rap. But I wanted to write raps. And it was 8 Mile, like seeing that. And then that's kind of what got me going.
That wild. That's so crazy to say that.
Yeah.
But it's
that 8 Mile was such an inspiration.
Oh, I thought you
know what I'm
saying.
saying. But it truly was.
A lot of it, you know, shit that you can relate to in 8 Mile.
Absolutely, tons of it. But I guess what makes it so crazy to like reflect on it and label it like inspirational is that we already knew the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we literally we watched a movie about
like,
it.
Oh, look, there's my autobiography.
Right? And then it was M was playing in the movie. It was you know what I'm saying? It's like
but let's be real.
Great movie.
Let's be real though. Some of these movies that have like rappers in it.
Oh God.
It be trash, right?
No, for sure. There's so many trash ones.
Hey, come on, man.
Have you
some of the hardest battle rap bars is in that movie.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Tank top screaming, Lotto, I don't fit you.
Bro,
I recruits in there going on.
I had
Snoop Dogg got a boob job. Like,
because that's shortly after, and that made me wanted to like be a fan of battle rap. I never desired to battle rap. I still to this day watch it. I just watched a pay-per-view yesterday of like the newest one, but like I never wanted to do that, but I just wanted to watch it, just like I would watch wrestling or football or basketball or whatever. It just is a sport to me.
Yeah, you know he's tapped the fuck in too.
So, So on the flip, so that I love that project, right? When M came out, I mean, immediately, bro, he did what if you were a lyricist, you had to rock with M.
And if you were white.
But watch this though. This right on that note. So I grew up south suburbs Chicago. So I was in Chicago before I was even old enough to get into clubs, doing the open mics and all this shit.
Right.
And there was a specific place that I would go to called the Cotton Club on Michigan, 18th in Michigan. I used to go there every Monday night and sometimes other nights, but Monday and Tuesday. I think Monday was open mic and then Tuesday was like battle night.
Yeah.
And I would go there and, bro, like that. M was like almost like it was almost like a against me, a strike against me, because when I was going there was right when the 8 Mile shit, and I would shut battles down. I would annihilate people, bro. Like I'm not even joking. I won so many weeks that they stopped letting me compete, and I had to just sit and wait until like they had like a new bracket, and then I would just battle the bracket dude, and we fucking gotten like fights and shit outside the club because people would wait for their fucking money and shit. Like it was stupid shit like that. And but it was so lame because all somebody had to do was say an Eminem or an 8 Mile or a Shady bar or a B Rabbit bar, and it was like, whoa! And I was like, dog, that's so whack because I don't look like this dude. I don't rap like this dude.
Just your skin color's the same.
You're white though.
I'm white, and that's all you got, bro. You know what I mean? Like I have to sit here and specifically pick apart a motherfucker, like analyze, and so I used to get so like, I mean, it wasn't M's fault. It was uncreative, whack lyricists. I'm calling y'all that 20 years later still. Like, you know, but we had a blast, dog. Like we had a blast. Like man, I miss that place, man. That was the shit. The Cotton Club was the shit. I
want to say Calhoun said the same thing. Like whenever he would do those back in the day, that was me
and him. We would go together. I would go. We were at one. So Adam got into the battle shit, but he wasn't as like into the battle shit. Like for whatever reason, it just wasn't as much. And I don't know why it even became my shit. I think I was more like of a freestyler, and it just it became it came more natural to me, I think was really what it boiled down to. But
especially where y'all were at too, because it was closer to like Michigan area, because it was Illinois, so it was like close in that area.
Yeah, true. I didn't even really think about it at the time. But that was like pre-Google and shit. For sure. Like, where's 8 Mile? Could be fucking 800 miles for all I know. But man, I remember one specifically. It was a citywide battle. It was to get on 106 in Park. And
106 in Park.
And Free.
Shout Sticks
was it AJ?
AJ and Free.
AJ and Free. AJ was hosting the final event. The final event was at this place called Joe's on Weed Street.
Shout out Weed Street.
Shout out Weed Street. And
hell yeah, dude.
So, and I remember this was right when the 50 Cent album dropped. Like it was
03.
It was like maybe like week. It was like damn near a week of, bro, because I remember some dude had Lambo doors on like I forgot what the fuck it was, but he had Lambo doors on something.
All right.
And he's just riding with what up, blood? What up, cub? And I mean he's going like negative miles per hour. Like this dude's just and he's just waiting. Like you can see he just wants somebody to say some shit, you know, like
February of 03 is when.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So it was definitely like, it was cold out too. So it was probably, like I said, it was that album was like destroying the world at that point. And but yeah, so there was like a citywide battle, and it was broken to you went to all these different clubs and you spit a freestyle. That's how you entered. And then you got voted upon that club that you were at, whatever one you went to, and whoever won that club. Or they picked, I don't know how many they picked, but then you would go on, and basically there was a top 16 that were the people that would perform at Weed Street, and 5 judges. You know, like just like a bracket for like college or whatever, Sweet 16, like so. So I happened to be at Cotton Club with this dude named Priceless.
Okay.
And he went before me to do his audition or whatever first. And he spits or whatever, and I was like, that dude's nice and shit and whatever. I do my thing. So come the week of the finals and shit, he's in it. And I beat everybody the first 3 rounds unanimous.
Were y'all friends prior to that? Y'all know each other at all?
Priceless?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Don't know the dude at all.
Keep going.
So I'm 3 weeks in a row, or 3 battles in a row, and I'm like forehead to forehead with people. Like this one dude's just like while I'm rapping, and he's just forehead to forehead with me, and I'm just like, this shit is so goofy, and like, and so, you know, I win that shit. And the reason I thought Adam is because like I get off, and we're treating this shit like a boxing match.
Bro.
I get off, and he's smacking me in the face. You know, pre-beard, bro. I'm this baby face, and he's just. And I'm just like, I'm like,
I wish there was footage of that.
Like Rocky, bro.
I wish we could find footage of that.
Oh, this shit was hilarious, bro.
Shout out Calhoun.
He said it was like.
He said.
Like Adam was talking about just what you were saying. Like it was rough because y'all were like there wasn't a lot of white dudes really holding shit down in that area.
No, I'll help you. There were no other
Talk your shit.
He was trying to like.
That's important, dude. I mean, that's an important. It's an important piece of that. It's definitely. I think that part of it though is definitely an important piece of the story, considering that, you know, like us immediately talking about 8 Mile, to double back on that for a minute. And then
That's how real it was.
you know, that same type scenario. You know what I mean?
There was no. I'm not gonna say
we're talking Chicago. You know what I mean? Like right outside Chicago. So
this is in Chicago.
Okay, but you grew up right outside of Chicago.
I grew up 30 minutes south.
Gotcha.
And so we would walk. I remember, like, bro, I was, you know, I had expensive taste. You know, I was always in J's. Now I'm like a bum, and I get mad at my kids for having expensive taste.
You're just humble now.
Yeah.
But like, bro, like. I had a Coogee on one time.
Okay, Coogee, that was the fire shit.
We did a show or open mic or whatever. It was like 80 something. It was like all I remember was Martin Luther King or something, and it was like 80 something, 70 something, and bro, I walk in, and this girl comes up from behind, and she just pulls my tag like this, and she's like, I just had to check.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, that's a real Coogee. And I was like, she's like, I can't believe you would wear a real Coogee. I just started laughing. I was like, well,
I think that shit wasn't cheap.
Bro, and let me just say it, bro. I got to say it.
Where we were at, though, that's what I'm saying. She was like,
all of this.
That's what, and I'm white. And
you're white. And you're where you're basically not supposed to be in her eyes.
Yeah.
All that shit is so important, bro, from a single person's character's position, too.
Yeah.
Like, not only were you in these type scenarios and you were comfortable with it, but what I've grown to realize, because I was in these same scenarios at the record store, right? Mm-hmm. Only white boy in that bitch.
Yeah.
And I claimed I wanted to be a rapper too. You know what I mean? There was a lot of scenarios where I get put on the spot just for the reason, like I didn't, like people immediately thought I wasn't supposed to be there or some shit.
You had to prove yourself.
You had to prove yourself. But at the same time, absolutely. But what I value so much, like looking back now, and I get an opportunity to meet and get associated with somebody like Mesus. That's my guy. But to hear, I think that is so. And Chad, when Chad was in high school and he talked about everybody doing the talent show and having the LED on his belt, half the fucking school probably thought he was a goofy. You know what I'm saying? But it takes a certain individual to play that fucking role. And shout out to the white boys that fucking come up in where they're not supposed to, basically, where people are telling them they shouldn't be.
And that's the thing, though. It's not even, and I get what you're saying, but it ain't a role. You know what I mean? Like, that was your life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But to not steer away from it based off the odds or the majority votes around you and shit, like to continuously be put in an underdog scenario based off your appearance is not fun. Bro, that shit would suck.
Oh yeah.
But that particular person that would continuously put themselves in that position, they don't build many of those. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, dog.
Yeah,
but to y'all, both of y'all for back then. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, any of the white boys that fucking came up with that self confidence that would continuously don't give a fuck what they think, don't give a fuck who gives a fuck or who wants me here or who don't.
And was nice with it.
And was nice with it.
You have to be nice,
bro.
With it.
Otherwise,
you have confidence and not be nice with it. It ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Exactly.
But you got to be nice with it with the confidence.
Yeah, we don't speak on that shit a lot, but at the same time, we don't talk about that shit a lot.
But it's real though.
It is.
It's a real thing, and like you say, like motherfuckers don't. It sucks working from a position of from that type of position. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hell, man, when it's your life, what can you do about it? Like you deal with the cards that was dealt.
Right.
Exactly.
You face them head on. Like, that's what we do.
I remember thinking to myself moments, literally, where I was like, "Damn, I was kind of fucked up." Yeah. Like where somebody would say something to me, or I don't know. I wasn't invited. Like, hey, we can go outside and hit this blunt, and Squints is smoking. I'm not invited. Something like that, and I just catch myself in a scenario where I think about it for a minute. I'd be like, well, you know what? That's kind of how the way this shit goes. You know what I mean? Like I gotta put myself in that position later, like to be able to be invited to the car and shit. Like I couldn't take it. Like I had to rebound from it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? What I'm trying to say?
No, I mean, you had to step back and really just accept it for what it was.
That's right there. Thanks. That's what I'm trying to say. It was I couldn't take it personal. I had to, it is what it was.
You know what? On the note of taking it personal. Well, two things. One, fuck Priceless. That was the moral of that story. Because Priceless ended up spitting a fucking written during the freestyle. Clips. So it was Clips, the song Grinding.
Yeah.
Like that was the song that we had for the last round. And he went first.
Yeah.
Love that beat too.
He went first.
One of the best rap beats of all time.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
He goes first. I already heard his verse in at Cotton Club, and he's blah, blah, blah. He's not even talking to me. He's like performing like it's a song.
He
and
recycled
shit.
that bitch, yeah.
And he's spitting this shit. And I'm going to the judges like this. I'm like, it's written. I'm just looking at the judges like it's fucking written. This
that's when it was
thing,
freestyle.
Yeah, this was freestyle, dog.
Yep.
So I go in there and I just start like I'm as soon as I start to rap, no bullshit, about half the fucking whole crowd been rocking with me all fucking night, dog. Half the crowd just start booing. Like second I go to rap, just boo, and I'm like, the fuck? And so me being the freestyle rapper that I am, I turn to the crowd and I start ripping individuals in the crowd up for like 30 seconds. It was a minute and a half. I'm like, and then I like, bing, like, I'm like, oh shit.
Let me get back to him, man.
And then I go back over to him. I start ripping him up.
Yeah.
Fucking lose 3-2 or whatever. And I'm like, motherfucker. I get off the stage. He comes up and I'm like, dog, you spit a fucking written and you know that shit. And he was just like, he's like, yeah, you know, he didn't really have nothing to say.
Got that dub.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And dog, I had about 5 people on the way back out to the car tell me, yo, man, I was fucking with you. I came with dude, and that's why I was booing and shit. I was like, dog, please
the fight was fixed.
I was like, please just get away from me, because like you just fucked up my opportunity for 106 in Park, man. Like I ain't really trying to hear that shit right now.
That's
like, why I was so much.
Some kind of way.
I was like, I was like, I appreciate you at least being cool enough to, you know, give me the nod like on the way out the door and shit. But
and admit that he wrote it basically, or you already knew from the Cotton Club.
No, I checked that. Yeah,
but it's like that's a difference between Mesus and Squints and Chad. When we were just talking that white boy shit, that's one thing you got one up on us, bro, because we ain't no battle rappers like ever. You know what I mean? Bro, that takes an even more different individual. You know what I'm saying?
I've never been a freestyler. I mean,
I could always freestyle with the homies, like we just kicking bars and everybody just fucking off.
Funny, like,
that ain't. Hey, if we just busting rhymes, bro.
Yeah, shout out busting rhymes.
I can't get past because it's a sport, right? And it's a disrespectful sport.
Yeah,
I can't get past the disrespect.
Yeah, you'll put somebody sleep for sure.
It's changed, bro. Like I've watched the new battle.
Me and him both are tapped in now. Yeah, that's different.
You don't.
No. You talk about dead homies.
I've
family
watched
members
some of that shit where like there's no music playing and they just, you know, and it's I've watched those now and I'm like
the no music thing.
I'm like, I would not last 15 seconds in that shit, because the second you said something foul, dog, I'm sure they all right, like, oh, I won't hit nobody, blah blah blah.
Oh no, if you fight, you lose the bag.
Oh yeah, they have months to prepare now. They have contracts. Like these dudes are getting paid like car money to do battles.
I'm just like, dog, if you say some foul shit about, there's just certain lines, you know what I mean? You could say really whatever you want about me.
And on top of that, bro, they be in your face, like, you know,
like you said, like
in your face, bro.
The event last night was like that, bro. These dudes were touching foreheads.
I'm not. I can't get into that shit. I can't get jiggy with that shit.
I love it, but I could never do it. But I love watching it.
That's
Chad, you can do anything you put your mind to.
You're gonna find some of the best if you're just looking at the art of it. You're gonna hear some of the best bars.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And some of the best creativity and entertainment, man. Like it's dope.
Yeah,
it's super dope.
It's cool, and if you can do it for a sport and not get, you know, and again, like that was something I didn't even really purposely do. It was just it was a part of the scene that I was in. And it was just like. It was like open gym.
A way to get in the door.
It was like open gym, like for me, and I was just like, all right, fuck it, man. It was fun, you know. Like I said, until it got, you know, there was rappers that were rappers. Like I remember the best bar I ever spit to this day, I remember as far as battle shit, was against a dude who was a competitor, like a good friend of mine. We were all in the same camp. He you know, his name was Fresh to Death. He actually had a quick little bubble in like on the underground of Chicago for a minute. Right. Yeah. But I mean, he could rap his ass off. Big ass tall dude, and he came in like this really like it was, remember the blue Fila jumpsuit, like there was like suede almost.
Velour looking.
The velour shit? Yeah. What is that, velvet?
Yeah.
Bro, that's the line I fucking spit, bro. I said,
Hell, you did? You said that? Hell yeah. Shout out Eddie Murphy.
I said, he went first, and and we were laughing. Like, me and him, we couldn't help, because we knew each other so well. And he could, like I said, it was when it was fun, and it was like he was a real rapper, and he was, but he said, so I said, blah, this is literally how I started shit. I said, blah, blah, blah. You said a bunch of shit, nobody felt it. I said, that's a real nice suit. What is that?
Oh my God, that's what I was gonna ask. Did you do the voice?
Yeah, and the whole fucking the fucking the ref or whatever, the host, he just no. Everybody falls. That was it. He was like, no, that's bullshit. You can't let off 2 bars. I was like, I just did, I guess.
That's crazy. That's
that one hit a quitter.
I love that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
When we got these, we were like, what is that?
I'm glad I went off 2 bars too, because his ass was he could rap. He was like a Chicago Fabulous. Like that, his style was
fab.
super
FABOLOUS.
He was just smooth, and the way he said shit, like he was like, I got lucky. I got the little.
It was gonna be a long
I beat
night.
him with the funny punchline. I got the funniest shit. I don't know if I could have out rapped his ass, but
So what year was this? Around roughly.
02.
So at that time, any recording going on? Or was okay, great.
Yeah,
I don't know anything. We just jumped into conversation. I think we're like half hour in, bro, and I don't think we've done anything but tell him his name. But that's what we love about the podcast. We just go a little bit, you know what I mean? But for the people that are unfamiliar with Mesus, I don't want to get past the fact we got you on that couch right there.
No, for sure.
But I cut us off like that just to sort of say, bro, I didn't even know you did that shit. Like sitting over here right now, like I had no idea you were in the battle scene. I had no fucking clue.
That was I had a gang. It's like we had so much fun back then. It was just, it was, that's what I've always loved. Like you said, it's like a sport to me, man. Like
competitive shit,
and just, I don't know. Like, and it's funny because full circle, like what you were just saying, and kind of even like on the note of the recording shit, it's crazy that basically 20 years later, pretty much December of 2019, I drop a song called Guest. And that's what pops for me. That's my breakthrough song, because like you were talking about the white boys and having and the guests, and that whole shit came from Nick Cannon talking his shit to Eminem. And I had a relationship. Pause. I knew.
At least he caught it. You know what I'm saying?
I had a business
there it is.
relationship with some people in Cannon's camp. I met him how we were talking about California right before we got started.
Yeah.
That's the first reason I went out there in 2008. I actually remember robbing Big.
Absolutely.
RP
So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Big was out in Chicago doing just like picture autograph shit at a mall. So I went there, and I'll never forget, the line was like the whole fucking mall. Like, I mean, it was crazy. And I'm like, I ain't waiting in this shit. I walk all the way up to the front, like literally where he's at, and go around the back. He was sitting in a big ass chair like Santa Claus. Yeah. And so they had like this big fenced off shit behind him, which was like just some people that were with him. And I just went over to this dude. I was like, hey, and got his attention. His name's Jason. And he ended up being like a program director or something like that. And we exchanged contacts, and that's how I went out to Cali. Well, he's connected with all sorts of people, and Cannon was one of them. And so I was in Cannon's studio. I know Cannon's producers. I know a lot of his camp. And I always, it was like open door every time I was there.
Wow, okay.
Every time I was in Cali. So I felt like a lot of like family almost, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was like, and so I'm at the studio one day, not Cannon's, I'm back in Chicago at the studio, fast forward to like 2019, and I'm getting a song recorded or mixed, and I'm just sitting there kind of just, letting the engineer mix and shit. I'm on my phone, and I see, fuck's his name, Vlad, DJ Vlad interview, and it's about Nick Cannon, and he's saying his spiritual blah 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 spiritual reasons why he's like leery of Hollywood and shit like this or whatever. And I'm like, bet, for those who don't know, Mesus means Jesus and me. I'm a Christian, and so that kind of stuff that was one of the reasons that I actually felt comfortable around his camp, because without getting into some really crazy off the wall shit, Hollywood and the music industry are on some goofy shit. And I knew that from multiple like firsthand, people I know personally. I know that from just doing any kind of research and looking around on the internet. It's
I be looking too, dog.
It's real.
I'm one of them motherfuckers.
It's real. It's real. The shit's real. So I felt comfortable, and like Cannon, he's got the.
You knew Cannon was good.
I thought.
Get it. Okay.
Right. So he's got the Wildin' Out, show, and they pray before the shows. He's a PK, a pastor's kid. He grew as that. So I'm like, all right, and again, I'm not gonna go off the end and say he's totally on some goofy shit, but I felt like he was like family in a way. Again, I didn't know him like that.
Yeah, it's just extended.
I knew his camp, but then I go and watch. They chop those into different segments, and I watch a couple more, and he starts weighing in on Eminem, like how he feels about white people and the subject of them being guests in hip hop, and he's like, oh yeah, no doubt, and I was like, the fuck?
Like they are guessing.
Like, yeah. And I was like, nah, dog, I can't rock with that shit. You know what I mean? And I literally wrote this whole fucking song like immediately, guessed. And honestly, I was working on an album called Eracism, and the way I make albums is like, they're kind of like books.
So, bro, it's crazy. He's got it diagrammed on his board at his house too.
Okay.
So they're like,
show me.
They're like books, and or a movie if you want, whatever, but they all have a subject. Like it's like a themed through the whole fucking album.
Love it.
And so I just wrote it, recorded it, and it was sitting. I kind of just record, and then like when an album starts to piece together,
I love it.
I focus in on like, okay, that one's the quickest one to get done. Let's whatever.
Right.
So it was just there.
There'll be ones that like immediately skip the line and like, I got you. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and it was there. It's just sitting there, and then he does the invitation joint.
Yeah,
Nick Cannon puts that joint out called Invitation.
What's Invitation?
It was a diss. It was a diss at Eminem, and but he didn't. He did rap at the end, but he had like 4 or 5 other like battle rapper dudes.
it was like Charlie Clip. It was a bunch of people on the Black Squad.
Yeah, yep, and they all.
It was Hitman Holla and a couple other dudes. Yeah,
so they all do their shit, but they put it on World Star, and it boom like viraled in a bitch, right? And I said, I gotta drop Guess right fucking now. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta drop this bitch right now. And I hit up my guy, Izzy. He's a videographer out there. I hit him up. He pulled together all these actors and shit from a haunted house. We rented this haunted house.
Fire.
And fucking, I had my homie like graciously open up his studio to like his computer to like edit. Like, and I said, how do I cut like. And he's like, you just use this little razor thing. I said, okay, that's all I need to know. And I said, just get all the footage in here. Stayed up like 40 hours editing that fucking video.
It happens.
Didn't know shit about YouTube. Didn't know nothing. And just as soon as I was done, fucking sent that bitch, posted it, and fell out. I literally passed out on the floor. And when I woke up, it was, I don't remember how many views, but like, it was like I'd already had like 10,000 new subs. Like, it was just, the bitch went nuts. And
that's crazy as fuck. Everything we just heard.
So how much with that song? And I've heard that song, but how much flack did you catch for that song?
Bro, I caught hell, bro. Your haters will make you famous, dog. Like
they tried to say you were like racist and stuff like that.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Have you heard this record?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
So taking this shit personally.
Is this a Nick Cannon diss? Is that what we're giving?
No, it's not a Nick Cannon diss. It was a fuck anybody.
It would have went more viral had you labeled it though.
It was. I did put in the thing Nick Cannon / DJ Vlad diss.
Okay, hell yeah. Good for you.
Because it was like fuck anybody who feels this kind of way, and it roots from like what we were just talking about, bro, fuck you. Like, I have been doing this shit since I was fucking 16. No, like 13.
Well, it's just being a guest in the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
That comment, like, basically, or him agreeing with Vlad, et cetera. I got you.
I was just like, and when I say fuck you, I mean, like I said, I was saying it to everybody. Like, no, let me be crystal fucking clear here. Fuck anybody who thinks that shit. You know what I mean? Like, Nick is the one that I heard say it. It was like a atomic bomb went off in my brain. Not because Nick Cannon said it and it was someone I kind of like was attached to.
Just because it was said?
Because it was said. I was like, what the fuck kind of a thought process is that? Like, where the fuck, you know? And so I just said what I said, and then all the stands came out. And they started.
Nick Cannon has stands?
No, all the Eminem stands come out.
I was gonna say,
yeah, they come out and they start dropping their songs. Like, I'm talking about rap stands, you know what I mean? And they come out and start dropping their songs, and then right away I'm getting linked in with this. Okay, because the songs,
and all the Eminem fans were,
and
dissing,
I'm like, wait, I am not your stand poster child.
I didn't sign up for this shit.
Yeah, I said, hold up. So then that's where Home came from, because like 2 weeks later I dropped Home.
Yeah,
and I made it a personal diss towards Nick. I said, listen, Nick. I said that in the beginning.
I said, got to tap into these fucking records.
I said, listen, Nick, this shit is
dope.
personal.
They're controversial, but they're dope. Like, just because of the subject matter.
I said, bro, this shit is personal, Nick. And and that's when I got real personal and started talking about details. Like, I put my fucking Tim's on your mixing board. Like, I'll drop your fucking address. I know where the fuck you're at. Like, don't, you know, and bro, as soon as I dropped that shit, Jason, the guy I told you, he calls me 15 minutes after fucking Home drops. After I posted it on YouTube, calls me. I saw the call ID. I said, oh shit. I answered. I said, this is gonna be interesting. And he said, man, he's like, you know, I love you, right? I was like, I said, yeah, of course, man, I love you too, bro. And he said, why you so mad at Nick? And I said, why is Nick on some racist bullshit? And he just said, no, hold on, I gotta break it down. And to keep it like a real long story short, he just basically said, look, Nick hates Eminem. Like, he has personal beef with him.
Obviously, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he said he knows he ain't gonna beat him like rapping, which is why he had a bunch of other battle rappers on. He said, so what Nick is doing is literally trying to say the most whatever he can say, because he's like, he wants beef. Like, he wants to physically he wants to put hands on him, bro.
They should box.
But
that's why he said it to create.
And he caught him on the red carpet. This was Jason told me this at a BET Awards. He caught M on the red carpet and was like, what's up, motherfucker? Like, and M didn't want no smoke. Like, and so, you know, like Nick is like, his whole squad's Bloods and shit. Like, you know, that's why he's always red and shit. Like his, you know, the dude that called me is a Blood. Like, so like, it's not that he's even like, but you think he's like kind of goofy because you look at the roles he's played.
Because he's mostly comedic.
But
he grew up like that, though. He grew up like that.
He's a real one, and that's what pissed me off the most. Was like, damn, dog, you
were disappointed.
I was disappointed, and I even told Jason, because I ended up going out to California right after Home Drive. I said, bro, I'm in Cali in a week, bro. I'm like, we can link up. Like, I can talk to Nick face to face if we need to. And dude, that was 2020 January. Jason got COVID. And so we didn't end up linking, and I still haven't yet to have a conversation with Cannon, man. But I'd love to be honest, because I just think it's whack, dog. I think that whole concept, and I said that in
the whole conversation's whack.
Yeah, I gotta listen to it, man. I wouldn't even. Oh,
I gotta hear the record.
Even the song where he had people on there rapping for him and shit like that ain't nothing. I probably heard pieces of, but ain't nothing I dove off into. Like,
agreed. I'm right there with you. Same thing. And I
follow that whole little beat. Now the beef itself. I'm assuming this is how much I know of it. Like, it has some shit to do with Mariah or something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it had that's about all.
I know the literally 100%. It had Mariah, because Jason told me Mariah. They got married. You know, Nick and M kept like poking that shit and talking. Well, M kept speaking on that shit in his music, and Nick said, "Yo, chill, leave that shit the fuck alone.
That's my wife," type shit.
That's my wife. Leave it the fuck alone. And he just basically upped the ante and did another record or two. You know, release.
I remember these bars. These bars were harsh too.
I was like, M saying like relapse, I think, or recovery.
M basically saying he could fuck Mariah whenever he wanted.
Yeah, and releasing voice recordings and you know, fucked up shit. And so from there on, he was just basically like, "No, it's not cool. We're not cool." You know what I mean?
It's
like,
my woman.
There's
shit,
this is, you know, it's not cool.
Disrespect.
So that's what it was, man. But yeah, anyway.
That's interesting. I hope. I hope
I just think it's funny that we talk about that shit.
Yeah.
And then fucking a song that ends up being like basically a breakthrough song from.
I have to tap into it, and when I say tap into it, I don't necessarily mean listen to it for the first time, because when I have tapped into Mesus' catalog as an artist, I've heard chunks of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of this is controversial. I could see. I just don't know what specifics. I'm not as tapped in as I should be, I guess, to recognize titles of songs, etc. Yeah. But I will be quick to fucking tap into those two specific ones.
No, definitely.
Sometime this afternoon. But that's that whole conversation gets interesting. I understand the argument, but at the same time, like to your point, like it's a mentality thing, bro. Like if you're either in this shit or you ain't.
Yeah.
To the degree of your own mind state to how much you participate.
Yeah.
Who is it for anybody in any scenario other than hip hop, just in any scenario, to tell you shouldn't be involved?
Yeah.
Or to be labeled with any less credential as the next motherfucker?
I feel like we're all human beings.
Absolutely.
Period.
That's
we're all human beings.
That's it.
If you grew up in it, it's you.
Absolutely.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
If you grew up in it, it's you. Now, you can be in a totally different area of entertainment and be a guest.
Sure. Yeah. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? You can be an actor. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Somebody who didn't really grow up like
you could be an artist from a different genre.
Yeah.
You could be a lot of things.
Yeah, you could just be a person that didn't grow up in hip hop and just what they call it.
Rooted. I'm fucking rooted.
It ain't bandwagoners, man. It's
Culture vulture.
Culture vulture.
Yeah, man.
If you're a culture
I know
vulture,
them all. I got called every fucking one.
But see what that is exactly what we were just talking about. Somebody completely outside of the genre or the lifestyle that's trying to benefit off of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You see it now more with country than anything.
Country rap too.
Man, I'm telling you,
country and country rap both.
But it's that way. And so if you're not rooted into it, then I get that. If you are, nah, man, fuck you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I grew up.
Well, it's just like saying somebody like a black artist that has been a country music lover and fan and art like their whole life, and then they jump into country, and then all these people on the outside are like, you're a guest here, you don't belong here, but they don't know that this guy's countryer than most everybody else, but because his color of skin is different than the majority of artists in it.
Exact same. Perfect comparison right there.
I'm gonna make it an even better comparison.
Yeah.
If you don't have to have the complexion right for the collection. You can be a white person, hence somebody close to us who don't fit the mold. Yeah, and motherfuckers look at it like, no, you're not one of us. Yeah. And I now have to prove myself. That's what Jella had to do. Like motherfuckers wasn't accepting him off into this shit. Yeah. He had to fucking prove himself, and he's white. But he grew up in this shit. Like he's hooded than a lot of motherfuckers that I know. Yeah. You know what I mean? They wasn't accepting that shit.
Facts.
It's just part of it. He had to go in there and kick the goddamn door open.
Yeah.
And when the odds are against you, you know what I'm saying? Just like the situation Squints was in, the situation you was in.
All of us.
Situations
Chad was in with his LED belts.
Whole entire life. You know what I mean?
I got to keep speaking on the belts.
You just have to goddamn kick that motherfucker in.
Yeah.
Kick that motherfucker door in. Look, Chad get that same shit. I say this shit all the time, man. If Chad was black, man, if me and Chad was blood brothers, Chad would probably be recognized as the hardest rapper out of the Ville and maybe even the South. You know what I'm saying?
Damn it, Chad. Why wasn't you black?
No, real shit. It's just shit. Just some shit that, man, that unfortunately is there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of those.
I appreciate that, bro.
It's the prejudgments. It's the all.
It's crazy though, right?
It's just the shit that you have to kick in, the doors that you have to kick in to make that shit work, man.
Yeah.
Like fuck the odds, man. Fuck the people who doubt, man. Give me more of this shit. That's just gonna make me want to kick the door in even more. Man.
Yeah.
Facts.
Is that how you felt, me? Just like what one was just talking about, like when you was getting that? Because was that the jump start to like your stuff elevating like it is now,
bro? So I dropped that shit. I had, like I said, I dropped that in December of 2019, and in I think it was like the 13th, December 13th or something like that. And I had I know the number, like 672 subs. By January 1st, I had 30K.
Hell yeah, talk your shit.
30,000 subs in less than 30 days, bro.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
It went retarded.
3.9 million views on YouTube. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
And then after that shit, what's crazy though is after those 2 songs dropped, I wrote a song. I already had it. It was called Black and White. And it's out now, but I didn't drop it. And I wish I would have, because that bitch would have went fucking bananas. And the last verse of it, I say, you know, bitch, I'm going back to the shit that I love to do. If it's fuck me, then it's fuck you too. And like just said a bunch of shit. But I was basically saying like, I'm off this shit. Like I'm a hip hop artist, bro. I'm here to fucking rap. Like I'm not here to like ride these little whatever. I threw my song in because I knew it was perfect timing to do that, bitch. But it was because it was relevant and I wanted what I had to say get heard.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to continuously be controversial.
Sit here in that lane. And I dropped that, or I dropped those 2. And then like I said, I had some other shit going on. And at a time when I was fucking red hot, I just, like I was talking about earlier, I just I didn't drop shit for 3 months. I went like radio fucking silent. And then I came back and I dropped the Talk, which is like on some rap shit, which is on my project Dear Rap. And I got a warm welcome back, man. I did like 100K in like 3 days. And then it just like but then everybody knows, and you know, we probably just keep off of this shit, but everybody knows the way the last couple of years, you know, 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
And music is like my fucking therapy, dog. Like writing is always my first song I ever wrote, no bullshit, it's called A Seed, and it was a poem that I wrote, and it was like a fucking suicide letter. That was the first rap I ever wrote. So like my shit is like therapeutic to me. And so just like everybody else went through 2020 and 2021 and all this shit, like I was just like, when George Floyd happened and all, I'm just another citizen in this country observing shit that's going on. And I just, you know, rap is what the fuck I do. It's the way I communicate through rap better than I fucking talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like, you know, you should do this on social media and this. I'm like, you don't get it. Like when I'm not rapping, I don't really want to do, like I want to just go live life.
I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I want to go live life, man. Like, and so it's like, I'm still learning how to do this shit. But like, yeah, man, I want, when that song dropped and shit started moving, bro, it's been the last 3 years since that shit happened has been a fucking like trying to figure all this shit out. Which on that note, the album I just put out, the Raptivist,
60 song album.
50,
my bad.
No, you good. But
Jesus fucking Christ.
Damn.
It had 50 songs because of the 50th anniversary of hip hop. I dropped it on August 11th, which was the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Come on now, man.
I did it for 2 reasons.
I thought you did it to diss Morgan Wallen.
I see your 4 songs a day and drop it.
I raid you these
whole 50 piece.
Yeah.
50-piece nugget, baby.
So I did it for that reason, and I did it for a reason that like I got put in all these boxes. Just like when I first dropped, I got put in this like whatever you call that shit, and then all this political shit started happening the last few years, you know. And you know, God forbid I spoke on that. Now I'm getting, and like you said, I speak with such fucking passion. Like when especially when I rap, dog, it's like
you're angry.
I make you feel that shit, you know. So it's like, you know, people think I'm like some like super the fuck off the fucking, you know, whatever political person. When really it's just like I'm a passionate person. You know what I'm saying? And like, you don't got to be political to give a fuck about some of the things that are going on in our country. It's not political to say, you know, this is what I think about personal life situations. You know, our skin color should never be a fucking political subject. You know what I'm saying? But but politicians use this shit because they know how to divide. They know how to get votes. You know, it's
get people riled up and shit.
Yeah,
all facts.
Get people riled up.
Pull on heartstrings.
Medical shit should not be, again, this should never be a political thing. My religious views should never be a political thing. All of these, they turn into it. And I'm like, oh, I'm just speaking my fucking life. Y'all politicize this shit. I didn't make this shit political, and it's been a fucking 3-year journey trying to climb the fuck out of that shit because
you get lumped into that. Oh, he's a political rapper.
At the end, and you know, and this ain't no shade on people who do that. And actually, I honestly believe that that's necessary. And I'll take it even a step further. I think it's foundational. Hip hop was a fucking voice for the people. That's what that shit started as, dog. So I definitely don't knock nobody, but on the note of everything we've been talking about, I've been doing this shit, and it's way more than don't put me in a box. You know what I'm saying? Don't put me in a fucking. I'm a Christian. I used to dodge the Christian box, the Christian rapper box. You know what I mean? Because it was like I go to church. I just went to church this morning, and I went.
Shout out church.
Shout out to church, man.
Shout out.
And shout out to Jesus, bro.
Shout out Jesus.
And
big Jesus.
And
Big Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
yeah, big Jesus, baby Jesus, and every Jesus in between.
Yeah.
You know, but bro, when I rap, bro, or when I tell people at church, that was like, you know, oh, are you a Christian rapper? I'm like, not really. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you definitely gonna hear about it because I'm a Christian, but you know,
That doesn't define my musical.
Have you ever released any of that? Any music specifically down that lane?
So, yes. I never, like, I recorded a ton of it. So in like 2010, I had this like kind of like, remember I said it, I was supposed to meet with Jay-Z and LA Reid. So when my manager at the time kind of pulled the rug on that meeting the night before me, which in hindsight I'm fucking grateful for, and people might think I'm crazy to say that, but I am absolutely grateful at 24 years old and not having a fucking clue about business and the music industry and any of that shit.
That you wasn't ready for business.
That I did not sit down in front of Russell Simmons, LA Reid, and Jay-Z when they were looking for a rapper. And Eminem, this is right 2004 when M was kind of going silent a little bit.
Yeah, it was like 2 years after Eminem's show. He took a little break.
They're looking for the new Eminem.
They were looking for the new Eminem, and I'm very, 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 very grateful I did not walk my ass into that motherfucking room.
You were going to be used as a pawn, and that's
I would have been
a white chocolate M&M on the way.
Yep, bro, you ain't joking. No, and that's if things went the best.
Yeah, that's best case scenario.
That's best. You know, I might get signed because they got another white chocolate and they just shelved me for 7 years and I can't do shit.
Right.
Shut up.
You know, you never know. So like, and I've heard horror stories, man, about artists that have gotten, you know, way worse than shelved, and I'll just leave it at that. But
yeah, man.
But so when fuck was I saying? Oh, the album.
Yeah.
This album is like, I took so many. It's actually 5 projects. I dropped an album. So
obviously, it's 50 fucking songs. What's the name of the project?
The Raptivist, but it's like 5 different albums that he's already finished.
Two of them. So one of them.
Can I see it, Chad? While he's talking about it.
So one of them is in 2020. When I got remember I was talking about like my business side was super fucked up and my YouTube shit's going crazy, but I don't even know Spotify. I don't know how to upload shit to iTunes. I literally don't know this shit. Like I don't know how to upload a fucking song to TuneCore or whatever the fuck, distributor. Yeah. So I'm like just feeding what's working. So I'm just putting music videos out, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta drop an album. But I had so much shit piled up. I dropped 3 albums in 3 months. I dropped an album called Fuck You. I dropped an album called Eracism, and I dropped an album called Dear Rap. 35 songs total, 10 on the first 2 and then 15 on the last one. And Fuck You and Eracism were, you know, like they were a lot of that controversial shit, you know, that was kind of getting me a lot of attention on YouTube or in the internet or whatever you want to call it. But Dear Rap was where my fucking heart was. Like it's 15 songs. Like I always tell people, if you want to know who like I am as a fucking rapper, what I like love, go listen to Dear Rap, because that is like what if I could
have me.
That's if I could have a career just rapping about just whatever. And then I even tried to shift gears like even further away from, because by this time, bro, like this is the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, and I'm starting to get just more and more lumped in with you know, because Trump, now you got Trump, that was the presidential year.
Shout out Trump.
They got the MAGA rap, you know, stuff, and it's like people are trying to put me in that box and this box, and so I dropped the Mesus EP, which is like almost like a country rap project. Like it's like easy listening rap.
I just saw it too. You got a lot of fucking music, bro.
Yeah. You know. So I decided, I was like, you know what, man, I was just like, I just fell back. Then I dropped Dictator in October, and that's like the record that kind of really went nuts. And
it's got like 5 million plays on
Spotify. That shit went retarded, dog.
Yeah,
that crazy. Shit, for me at least, that shit went retarded. I mean, that song really went crazy. But it also fucking hammered down something that I was trying to run from for fucking the last year.
Because you're like, dang, I did this Dear Rap project, and it doesn't do what this one does, and this is what I don't want to be known for.
That song has made me more money than that whole Dear Rap album. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
It's crazy how that works.
Shout out Burden.
Yep. And then and then me and Burden linked up and did that project together, which was definitely, you know, political, which
he needs to pull up. Shout out Burden.
The only regret I have about that project with me and him, and I told him, he's like a real spontaneous person. And I told him, I said, I'm like, yo, I'm down as fuck to do the project. I think it'd be dope. But I think we need to take our time and just like, you know, we got a friend, we talk all the time. So I'm like, you got a song that you don't really feel like needs a second verse from you, just throw it to me, you know what I mean? And I'll vice versa, and we'll just build. We'll just build. And when we got an album, we'll just drop that motherfucker.
Right.
But he was like, no, we got to put this, you know what I mean? I was like,
right.
All right. So we ended up putting basically like an 8-song project together, which to me,
I'm looking at it now.
It didn't give a full offer of what we are, man. But so
Burden's anyway, young, right? How old is Burden?
30 something.
Yeah.
Like young.
I haven't talked to him in a while. Tell myself what's up.
Young 30s.
He needs to pull up here. We spoke about him coming to the show next time he's in the city.
No, he should definitely pull up. Burden has been one of the realest people I've known in this music shit. He's kept it a buck with me. And that's all I can ask from people, man. It's like just be honest and be yourself, and I'll fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like just keep it real. And he's always, you know, he's always like the type of person, if he knows something, you know something. Like
he's a rapping motherfucker, boy.
He can rap his ass off. He can sing too.
Yeah.
He can sing. Like people don't. I tell him like all the time, dog. He gets so quick off of songs. I told him, I'm like, bro, you have fucking songs right now that should have 100 million streams. You know what I'm saying? Like
you don't put enough.
He's a workhorse
into it,
but he gets like, he jumps off of that, and I'm like, dog, you need to take like 5 songs and just focus on them bitches until they're just maximize those songs.
Yeah, and then push forward. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I ever told you about how I met him? So when just rabbit hole story real quick. My roommate at the time was when I would live with Blake, and I had to work the next morning. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday night, and they go hit the city, right? And I was asleep, and I remember waking up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning when they come home, and they were just out in the living room having drinks, etc. It happens all the fucking time, no big deal. Right. I just happened to wake up, and I'm like, fuck, I wonder who's at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I stroll on out there, and Burden was out there with about 10, 12 other fucking people at my house. But I recognized him immediately then. And this was probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, see, that was, wow. You know what's crazy is the way that him and I even linked was because we were both kind of getting, I guess, you know, whatever, the algorithm or whatever, just, you know, I started
trying to figure it out.
I started seeing him pop up in my shit, you know, and I was like, okay, like, you know, this dude's dope, you know, and that was about it. And then I can't even remember how we met through social media or whatever, but then like I think we just started like talking through social media, and then one day I was just sitting at the crib and he called me and he's like
over social media called you? Or
no, he just called, he had my number, and he just called me, and he's just like, yo, we gotta do a fucking song together, man, you know. And I was just like, let's do it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Though. And then he's like, what you working on? I'm like, and remember I told you I work albums, you know? Yeah. So I had all these albums ideas I was doing, and yeah, man, I sent them this
50 fucking songs. It's almost 3 hours of music, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. Well, that's crazy.
That project, though, the reason it's like that, like I said, is because I wanted to lump everything into one project that is basically everybody's called me.
There's a lot going on in here.
So I want to pull it down. Yeah, you can tell by the song.
Absolutely, dude. So hand that to one. Look at the track list for those 50 records. Since you're like me, we're just unfamiliar with the majority of that album.
So
just read them titles.
So I'm looking at the album, and I'm like, you know what? This is what I need to do. So I had an album called Fuck You Too.
Damn. Yeah, I saw it. That's what I was just doing. Looking through your entire catalog, which is extensive, bro. There's a lot of music over there.
I had an album called Fuck You Too, and then I had an album called Deletes, which was like delete the elites. Like eracism is obviously erase racism. Deletes was delete the elites.
Okay.
I didn't drop either of those because I was like, dog, I don't want to keep
feeding that same thing you're trying to get away from.
Exactly.
You just got to stop recording that shit.
So I just bottled it all up, and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, but dog, these are good songs, bro, and these songs should be heard. But it's like we're in a place where like whatever your viral shit is, that's what's gonna, you know what I mean? That's what you're known for. And I'm like, I can't keep putting shit that I know is gonna get more attention than the shit I want to get attention, and keep being mad with this. You know what do they say? Like doing the same thing and getting, you know, I can't. So I was like,
insanity.
So I'm putting this album together, and
Chad's.
I'm putting this album together. I'm dropping this project, and then actually the FU project and the Eracism are coming because those two projects are on that. I just took those songs, put that on there, and then I put FU2 and erase it or deletes on there. So it's like part 1, part 2 for those. That's the 4 projects, and then I just made like a Raptivist project.
Gotcha.
That's the 5th one.
It's back to you, but like that way you said you did the albums like a book. It's like a.
It's like
it's like the Chronicle. It's like you put them all together.
Exactly.
I follow you.
It's like a volume. So like I put all those together, and I'm pulling the other 2. So now when you look at my discography, you're gonna see Dear Rap, my name's Mesus, the Raptivist, and that's how the albums are gonna go. And then my next 2 are Saint Mesus, Rap Jesus. So it's like I'm telling a story with the whole fucking career, and when you look like. For instance, if I get in more situations like this or whatever, and people say, you know, what do you say to that being called a political rapper or whatever when you got all these songs? I say, well, look at my fucking catalog. You know what I'm saying? Right. Look, I got a mixtape basically, which was the first album I dropped in 2019 called 24/7. There ain't a political song on that bitch. There ain't a political song on Dear Rap. Ain't a political song on Mesus. Ain't a political fucking, you know, I got singles that are political. It's like if you don't think we lived in, quote, political, again, you already heard how I feel about it, but, quote, political times the last few years, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I don't know where you've been. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just an artist that's speaking on the shit that happened, and I just happened to bubble at this time.
But I've already done all this other stuff.
Been doing this shit for 20 years, and you know, I was never afraid to speak on it. I got songs about 9/11 when that shit happened, but I just didn't have a platform to put the music out on. I got Christian albums, like we were just talking. I got whole albums of Christian stuff. You know what I mean? Because like what we were saying with the Jay-Z and all that stuff in 2010, my homie, I was on a mission, bro. When that shit got pulled out from me and I didn't get in that meeting, I didn't say fuck that.
Get another meeting.
I said I'm gonna make myself get another meeting. I started buying courtside tickets to try to get as close to Jay-Z as I could, like meet his ass in person, and I did it. I met him at a New Jersey Nets game. I bought tickets like as close as me and you are, and I talked to him at halftime, and I went to give him my CD, and he actually was standing with a dude next to him, a security guy, and he said,
"Security guy took it."
This is the security guy had to take it because he can't hand. He couldn't receive unsolicited material because this is when he was the president of Def Jam. So I handed it to him, and so. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the moral of the story is I wasn't taking no for an answer. I was on a mission.
You made your own meeting.
I know exactly. On my way home, my homie hits me up. You remember that song with Umbrella? Under
Rihanna.
Umbrella.
She's probably watching too.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, and so Umbrella and then Run This Town Tonight. Those 2 songs, Jay started kind of leaking breadcrumbs of a lot of like shit again that, you know, allegedly he's like involved in. And so my homie, who's not even a Christian but knows I am, and he was like, hey, look, I think you might want to do a little research before you start, you know, locking arms with this dude, because I don't think he's on the same team, bro. Like, you know, and that's when this is 2010. That's when I actually got put on to a lot of shit going on. And I say this to
the
people,
music industry.
And I say this to people all the time, you know, as a believer, I say, you know, what's crazy is I didn't really start taking my personal life with God, meaning like here. Like, I think most people believe there's something after this. I think most people believe that there was some sort of a creator. Now you can get into the specifics, you know, that's a whole different conversation. But the point is, like, you know, a lot of people believe there's, you know, something after this, and a lot of people that I've had conversations with usually start, like, they don't really feel like God's too involved in what's going on here. Like most people, if you're a believer, it's different. But a lot of people who don't believe necessarily, like, or wouldn't call themselves religious, I guess, but would say, yeah, I believe there's something or a higher power. Yeah. But it's kind of like you create your own life, and he don't care what you do with your days and what's going on. And I was raised Catholic. I was South Chicago. Like, you're either literally Catholic or atheist. Like, that's the two options in Chicago. Yeah.
It's like Baptist is here. For
it's all demographic.
Yeah, exactly. So, I was like, I had this upbringing of, there was a God but it was more like a class in school to me, man. Like, I couldn't even tell you what Easter was. Like, I went through the whole bit, the CCD, all that as a kid. And, I checked out. I was a kid, bro. I wasn't paying attention. I was there because my mom would beat my ass if I wasn't there. That was it. Right.
Religion's a hard thing to grasp, though, for any of us.
Right.
Young.
Yep.
Seems like, you know what I mean?
Even adults, it's a deep subject.
Absolutely.
But what was crazy is that I didn't really start taking my walk serious until I took the devil serious.
Ooh.
Right.
When I took when I was like, oh shit, like that's not like a joke. Like it's a real. It's like there's like a real being. There's like a real war. There's like spiritual evil that's here right now and shit. Like that. When my eyes started, and I mean that's a journey, dog. Like, dude, to really,
I've the controversial shit or the we'll just leave it. Controversial or I'm all in it, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
The rabbit hole shit, like,
bro.
As far as like what goes on and like who the type people that may or may not be involved.
I watch all that shit too, bro.
I watch the conspiracy shit.
Yeah.
I watch every bit of it,
bro.
Every bit of it,
so
bro.
I spent, I don't know, I just dove down the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And it was it started with the Mason stuff. He started talking to Mason stuff. And then you could just follow it. And, we could I could be here till next Sunday talking about
what's the shit they do in the forest? You know what I'm talking about? The big tall trees. They all have you heard about this, bro?
Yeah.
I know the mask.
What's his name? Aired that shit out. Jones. Alex
Jones. He went in there. He fucking snuck in that bitch.
Yeah, he was the one that aired that shit out. But I can't think of it.
But that is the perfect fucking example of the weirdo shit we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Of like the higher ups, the 1%, like all them motherfuckers. Just at the end of the day, they're all in some weird shit.
Here's what I tell people all the time, dog. I'm friends with, plenty of people that are more successful than me. And I tell them this all the time. I say, dog, be careful. I said, because popularity breeds fame. Fame breeds people who think they're gods.
Yeah.
And I said, be fucking careful, dog.
Yeah.
Because if that's the thing. These people, what they don't understand is that music is influential.
Fact.
I love music. I love it because I fucking just love it. Like the reason that, you love a child or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like I just fucking unconditionally love hip hop, specifically hip hop music, but music in general, but mostly specifically hip hop.
Yeah.
And bro, like fucking what people don't understand, so many people don't understand, is that the people that run the fucking music industry, they don't give a fuck about music. It has nothing to do with music. It has everything to do with control and influence. And all you have to do is look at the elections and look at the people that they use, and they're all celebrities and artists and shit. It's the same thing with movies, the music industry and the entertainment industry. You could go hand in hand. Sports, even now, sports has become that. Celebrities, they're about creating celebrities so they can use them and
plants and shit.
Exactly, and so they use these people for whatever the fuck. Like my shirt just says, sell products, not agendas. They use it to get whatever specific
create the agenda,
fucking agenda they're trying to create, and they use it and
to divide, like you was talking about.
Absolutely. And so I said in one of the songs on there, I said the plan is to destroy America using Americans, and like the whole fucking industry, the music industry, it's like you can't bribe somebody who doesn't care about money. You see what I'm saying? So like this is the formula of the music industry. They take an artist and they say, "Oh, you got all the talent in the world. We're gonna make you a big star." Blah 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 blah. You fucking whatever. You know, your 20-year-old average 20-year-old kid that's going viral on TikTok right now. Peep game. If you're watching, listen to me right now. If they're gonna tell you, we're gonna make you a big fucking star. We're gonna make you the biggest fucking star. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. And everything's on the up and up. Everything's cool. You don't see no goofy shit around you. There ain't no goofy shit happening around you. Everybody's friendly. They're gonna try to butter up your family, your friends, everyone around you. They're gonna fucking treat like they're gods. Like, no, they're gonna treat like they're family. That's what they're gonna do. And then you're gonna fucking they're gonna give you what they said, and you're gonna get a little bit of success, and you're gonna get a little bit of money, and what's gonna happen is slowly but surely that lifestyle naturally just starts to pull you away from people who don't have success, people who don't have money, and what they're gonna do is replace those people with the people that they want around you that do have success and do have money and don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about what their plan is. And what happens is once they get you in deep enough, you're absorbed. You can't tell me shit because I'm making more in a fucking night than you make in a year. You can't tell me shit because I have power that money can't buy from fame. You can't tell me shit. So now the only people who can tell you shit is the same people that are just as fucking lost as you are, and they start coming up with the craziest, goofiest shit. And this is where they start, like, they're bored. Like, people are fucking literally bored, and this is where that goofy, weird shit starts coming in, and they start literally believing they're gods.
Yeah, they start doing
because they got all the money and fame.
They start literally believing they're gods, bro. And when you believe you're a god, bro, that's where the beginning of all immorality is gonna fucking happen, dog. And you can just there's no cap on that, period. Like, there is no end to that. You know, the Bible says that the heart is wicked. People say, like, follow your heart. The Bible literally says the human heart's wicked, bro. And that's why it needs to be replaced, you know? So at the point, like, with godly desires. Otherwise, again, it ain't hard to succeed in this world, especially in today's day and age, you know, with all the resources we have at the touch of our fingers, man. It's very easy to succeed in this world. It's hard to do it being a decent person, though. Being a moral person, being an upstanding person. And that's the thing, is the more deep you get in that shit, and it really just becomes, that's why so many people kill themselves, dog, because there's no way out. Like, they get in too deep, and one day they wake up and realize, fuck, man, like, I really made a deal with the devil. Like, I really sold my fucking soul. I'm really, and it just becomes like Emma's talked about this shit so many fucking times. Bro. It's retarded, bro. For people to say, oh, it ain't real, it's like, come on, dog. Like, that's that cognitive dissonance. That's cognitive dissonance. People don't want to accept it because, wait, that's going to fuck up my whole reality. And I like my reality in this little ignorance is bliss bubble. So you're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. Sure. You're a this, you're a that. Because that you know how it is, bro.
It doesn't fit my narrative.
How many times you done caught somebody in the middle of shit, dog, and they, like, in a relationship or something, and they just, and they project, like, all this crazy, like, what the fuck? I just said one thing. And, like, that's that guilty shit coming the fuck out, you know? It's the same shit. When you just,
that's true, though.
You offer a little, hey, what do you think about this? And it fucks their whole worldview up, and they just can't take it, you know? So,
bruh, I've loved this whole conversation.
Me too.
Before we wrap the episode up, I did want to ask you something, because you mentioned something, like, and it ties into what you was just saying.
Yeah.
You said your first song that you wrote was a suicide letter. It was a poem, right?
Yes, sir.
That's deep.
Talk to us about mental health, how mental health is with you, because that's something that we all struggle with.
From then to now.
Yeah, like where does that?
Not like the stages, but like how does it compare? Yeah.
So actually, the first song before Guess, actually, that I would say took off for me, that was like had any kind of internet success. Yeah, it was Free Pression. And if you go to my my YouTube, it's the very top one on my homepage or whatever. It's a spoken word. It's like 6 minutes. It's a spoken word about depression, being free of depression. So it's interesting you said that, man, because actually that song, I used to put that at the end of every YouTube video Like, you know, a lot of times they would be like, "Oh, recommend what your audience." And I was like, "No, fuck that. People need to hear this."
The spoken word thing would be at the end of each video. We should put that in the link in the description.
Yeah,
for sure.
This song is not my most successful song. Wait, fun fact. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Fun fact.
Fun fact. Broadnax, it was just here, like you said last time. He actually rapped on the same beat. We started laughing because he's like, "Oh, how crazy is that?"
Oh, because it was a BeatStars or SoundClick. That's what it was. Y'all talked about.
He's like, "How crazy is that?" Because when you hear the beat, it's not like that's a slap. Like everybody would rap on that shit. It's like a piano, like it's not like a rap beat. So
gotcha.
For two people that don't know each other, never whatever, and then meet each other and had rapped on the same shit,
be homies now too.
Yeah, and homies, right?
Yeah.
So, but. The mental health shit is huge to me. My father committed suicide when I was like 2 years old.
Oh damn, sorry, man.
Wow, man.
Appreciate
sorry
it.
About that.
It's you know, it's life, man. And he was an amazing person, but he battled, you know, with depression and here's the important, I guess, thing that I could say. We all battle, like, okay, depression is focusing on the past. That's in a nutshell what depression is. Anxiety is focusing on the future or worrying. It's worrying about the past.
That's a great way to break it down. I never thought of it like that.
Or it's worrying about the future.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I figured this shit out. Because to me, so first of all, like I said, my dad, what's important is it's not that we're all sick, bro. We all got issues. We all got problems. We all, you know what I'm saying? When I say sick, I just mean like we all got broken issues.
We're all off a little bit.
We're all off. We all got life, bro. If you ain't got fucking smacked in the head by life, you ain't alive. Like, like literally.
Yeah.
So, you know, my dad, he didn't handle shit right. You know, he drank. He grew up in a tough neighborhood where you don't talk about your fucking feelings. You don't, you know what I'm saying? He was an Italian dude, fucking, you know, would fucking drink beer while he worked, drink beer while he drove. Like he was just a tough fucking dude that you know.
Probably didn't try therapy or nothing like that.
Hell no, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
That was his therapy.
Bro,
probably.
Shit got, that's what I was saying is, and it went from, you know, drinking 12 beers by himself, like.
To a bottle of Jack.
Pouring, he put it in his coffee before he go to work.
Yeah, man.
You know, and started getting into other shit towards the end. And like, you know, my mother, like even my mother tried to intervene. Like she tried to like have family. And that's how far that thinking goes is like even my mother, his wife tried to get his family, his brother, my uncle, you know, who has shared this with me since, you know, and his mother and stuff, like tried to get them to have an intervention, and they wouldn't do it because they were like, that's disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like that's disrespectful to he takes care of his family. Yeah. He's a functioning alcoholic or whatever you want to call it, you know, and that's how set in
their ways they were about it. Yeah.
Right. And it was like, I don't blame them, but I'm just saying this is that like bad, that wrong, that's not the word I'm looking for, but like that wrong mentality, that stigma, like you're whatever, you're sick, you know, it's like, no, you just, you know, life did some shit and you this is the way you're wired. So this is, like I said, I got real bad OCD. So I'll focus on some shit, whether it's good or bad. So you'll see me probably, and hopefully I'll get better at this, but you'll see me have fucking periods of like, just man, I'm fucking killing it. And then you'll just be like, where the
pull the plug.
Fuck is this dude?
I relate to that on so many levels. Yeah.
So here's where
that's what y'all need me for.
Yeah. Free Pression. Like, bro, when I dropped that shit, it was real. I mean, if y'all go listen to it, man, I mean, and God had his hand all over that song. I was at church during like a Wednesday or like a prayer. It was a Wednesday or Thursday, and it's just like an hour thing. You just go and pray and just whatever. And I was just there, and I heard the word like Free Pression in my head, like clear as day. And I just jotted it down, and I just went back to what I was doing. I was just praying and stuff. Yeah. And like months later, I wrote that down. I locked myself. Only time I've ever done this, I locked myself in my, what was at the time a fucking like basically condemned apartment that I shouldn't even been living in, and no bullshit. And for like 4 days, I locked myself in that shit and didn't leave and just wrote this shit. And it was all over the place. It was like just my thoughts were all over, and I combined it into this spoken word. And even I didn't have no money, bro. I was so damn broke at the time. And
this is what, 2 years ago?
This was 2018. 2018.
Okay, my bad.
And I mean, dog, I didn't have I barely could pay rent, bro. Like and it was like a $300 a month rent. You know what I'm saying?
Foundation.
I was so broke, and my fucking landlord called me and said, "Hey, I'll give you $800 if you want to paint unit, whatever the fuck it was."
Yes, please.
Right. No, but get this. I called my videographer, the homie who was shooting, and I asked him like the day before if he was shooting. I'm like, bro, I got this song. I need to put it out, bro. I need to put a video to it, and I need you to shoot it. You know, can you hook me up? And he's like, I'll cut you half price. You know, for him. So, and half price was $800. And he said that to me the day before. The day before, bro. And then I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll find it. And literally, the landlord calls me the next day. I was like, bro, that's
that was meant to happen like that.
Yeah. Bro. So we dropped the song, and I say it all the time, bro. This song is the most impactful song I've made to date. You know, it's not my most popular song. It ain't made me the most money. Matter of fact, I don't have that beat trademark because I think John got it first. I don't know, but like, point is, like, I can't even monetize it, so I haven't made anything.
What's a bigger picture than that, though?
You know absolutely, what I mean? Yeah,
for sure.
But that song has impacted so many people. And when that song first dropped, I put it on Facebook, and my Facebook went crazy. My DMs went so nuts. People were Facebook calling me in the middle of the night.
Yeah, man.
And I started getting super, super, super fucking depressed because I was like, you don't understand? Like, I shared this song because this is what the fuck I'm going through, dog. Like, I don't have the answers, bro, other than like what I said in this song, you know?
That was my cry for help.
Yeah. It like almost buried me, bro. And then I kind of got out of that through church, bro, is really what, you know, it pushed me, you know, it pushed me to where I knew I had to go. And, you know, that's where I got the help I needed to turn. And that's where the anxiety thing that I said came from, because once I got to a place where I was actually healthy and I could actually, I guess the best way is I can see the dashboard lights for depression coming.
Yeah.
And I can check it. Like I can maintenance that, and I don't go down that rabbit hole to where I get depressed. We all gonna have a shitty day or a shitty thought once in a while, but like I said,
getting in front of it
to where I don't fucking just turn that into life. And that was the thing. And then what happened is, as that happened, and my career started to get a little better, and my money started to get a little better, I started doing, and this is why more people in this world suffer from anxiety than depression, because more people in this world are always thinking about the future. They're always thinking about plans.
How am I going to get my bills?
How am I going to get my bills? How am I, you know what I'm saying? And it's just whether you're wired this way or that way, and whether your life is this way or that way. I don't think about the past as much because I'm at peace with it now. Like I still have things that I can look back, and we all have our regrets and shit. But like when your present is doing pretty good, you don't look at the past as much. You're looking at the future because you're like, you want to keep the present
like it is
good. So you're trying to plan to keep it. And then that anxiety shit. And now I was like, damn, bro, it's really just worry, bro. And to make it simple, like, and biblical from the place that I come from, you know, a pastor said that the antidote to worry is worship. And when you are truly worshiping, when you are truly focused on God, for me, and there's a verse that, you know, basically in a nutshell says, you know, if you focus on today, God will focus on tomorrow. You know what I mean? If you seek the kingdom of God, I think it's Matthew 6:33. If you focus on the kingdom of God,
I don't know how y'all do that.
Seek the kingdom of God first, and all these things will be added to you. So if you seek God first, like what you've been to my house, the very front room of my house is called my prayer room. I got a church pew that I put in there I bought it on Facebook for a video, and I kept it, and it's my prayer room. And it's like, I don't leave my house. I don't go out into the fucking world. Like, I don't always go there first, bro. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I don't take a shit without, you know, like whatever. Like, but I do not leave the house without at least going in that room for a minute, you know, or something. Like I'm like, because
peace of mind.
I want to go out into this world filtered, like I want
clarity.
God filtering through, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I believe we should bless people. Every opportunity we have with people is an opportunity to be blessed or blessed, bro. And if you look at life that way, you can either benefit and learn from somebody, or you could bless them, bro.
That's real.
No, absolutely.
You know, but if you, and that you only can see that way if you're getting downloads from above, bro. It's the bottom line. If you ain't, otherwise you look like this. You're looking around and it's you're not, you know. I got a mentor that tells me, man, he's like, you're too horizontal focused right now. That's what he tells me. He said, you got to plug back in. You got to start going vertical again. You too horizontal. And he said, you know, you're going to get stretched. When you go like this, you're too horizontal, you're going to get ripped in pieces. Yeah. He said, you gotta be vertical. And when you're vertical, then you got shit to offer horizontally. You know what I'm saying? Then you got something, you know, to offer. So anyways. It is Sunday, so you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. We'll name this "Go to Church." Go to Church featuring Mesus.
All right.
But I gotta tell you, Bubba, like from meeting you at tailgates, just a real brief scenario, and then having you pull up with Broadnax a few weeks ago, and talking to you a little off camera then, and then it leading to your sit down with us now. What a good, interesting conversation. Like this is
for sure.
This has been a really dope way to sort of get to know you, Mesus, because at the same time, like I said, just with our brief introductions up till now, this is probably the longest conversation I've definitely got to have with Mesus. But one that I'm so glad I had. You know what I'm saying, bro? Because you're a real one, man. And even being, I love knowing the success of your music and kind of still being unplugged from it. Personally,
now you see where it's coming. When you listen to it, you'll see where it's coming.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just to know, to get to know the person a little bit better before I jump into that is a little bit more beneficial for me, I think. Especially being the age I am and knowing, you know, being so self-indulged in this fucking culture like myself for so many years. To meet somebody like yourself later on, like I have, and I think this is going to be interesting. To embark on that discography you speak of, you know what I mean? I looked at it; it's extensive. I think I could listen to it for a week.
Amen. Amen.
Oh yeah.
But I'm also excited about your new friendship with Show and Prove. You know what I'm saying? Because with us with you being in the vicinity, man, and just with the conversations you can carry.
Oh, you up the street, Bubba?
That seat's yours anytime, Bubba. You can pull up and we can do this anytime you want.
That's love, bro.
In reality, right now, it's inside baseball. Has
vice versa, by the way, boys.
Word, that's what's up. This is completely irrelevant to anything that's happened or that we've been speaking of, but I'm going to say it. I think we're going to put this episode out just like this, dude. Like that.
Let's get it.
I think that's fire, dude.
No, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Where y'all? Because in reality, y'all see, because y'all see all four of us right now, and in reality, y'all wouldn't have seen that on the edit, like us four sitting here like this. But I think with the main camera that they're used to seeing, I think I'm gonna put that in the middle of all of us.
Yeah, whatever you think, man. When you do the edits, man.
We're just trying some new shit.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I'm dead serious. Aside from we tell all of our guests, that seat yours anytime you got some shit to say. That seat yours regardless, bro. We ain't even got to hit we ain't even got to hit record. You can just pull up and we can shoot shit. Yeah. And because it's been a great conversation, and I'm excited to get to know you more on the music side of it now.
And we got me and Mesus got something in the works too. We got a song in the works I'm excited about for future projects.
Dope.
So salute to Dub 30 on that.
So late, don't be late to late.
Don't be late. Man.
But if you're unfamiliar, you're a little more familiar now. Tap the fuck in. Mesus, great fucking dude. Extensive catalog of music that I'm fixing to embark on.
The link in Raptivist for sure.
Absolutely. The link to that and the spoken word joint, the 6-minute thing.
Yeah, we'll put his YouTube and Instagram in the links.
Yeah, because I got to tap into all this shit, man.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, dude, pull up on us soon. We'll do it again.
I'm here, man.
Believe that.
Mesus, y'all tap the fuck in, man. We'll have you back soon though. We'll do this again. We'll figure out some way to make it happen soon because, like I said, I don't even know. We're like an hour and 40 minutes, and that felt like.
Oh, bro!
I feel like we didn't talk about shit.
Yeah, no, we definitely did though. Because
we'll need a ChadArmesTV interview so I can get. to know
we're gonna
more
do that.
about.
We'll do the deep dive on the like we talked about. But I think this is good for the people to see that aren't familiar because listening to your music. Like a first impression, if somebody doesn't know,
it's gonna paint pictures.
Somebody's gonna try to form an opinion, but with anything. But now that You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be good for everybody to see. Plus, it's therapeutic for all of us to talk about stuff like that. Man.
Absolutely. It's been great.
People definitely do that. I think that's one of the biggest things I hope to make a difference in with my life, bro, is like just, you know, I always say feed the love, starve the hate, bro. I'm tired of like all the division, dog. This shit is so whack, bro.
No,
like,
for sure.
It is so fucking whack, dog. Like everybody wants to just put everybody in these different categories and shit, and it's just like, man, no, we need to just
go to church.
Go to church, amen.
You know what I mean?
You know, but just give people like, stop thinking you fucking know everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got 2 ears and, you know, 1 mouth for a reason, you know, like, and that's 2 eyes. Like, that don't mean you got to say some shit. Even though if you got some shit to say, come here and you got some shit to say.
For sure.
Time and a place for it.
Yeah, for time and a place, yeah.
And this is the fucking place to do it.
That's
right.
Man.
Well, we'll do
Appreciate
it again
you,
soon,
bro.
man. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mesus. We'll do it again real soon, dude.
right.
With all that being said, y'all know what the fuck's going on. All the links in the descriptions that we discussed. That's ChadArmesTV, O-N-E. Our new friend, Mesus. I'm Squint615. That's ChadArmesTV.com. I got some shit to say.com. Chatty, get us out of there.
Bow.
Bitch, we got views.